there's 5 areas that really stand out. Devolution will be central to the next government. Over the past decade, we've witnessed the transition from devolution of political power to evolution of the agenda for local growth, promoting new industries, new uses for old spaces, and new neighbourhoods, no more so than here in Manchester and the City region. Now, Labour appear committed to it, and the Tories may have to come up with something radical if they're going to change or retain votes that they managed to borrow during the last election. On this basis, it's more than likely that we'll see much greater devolved powers handed out, and therefore regional leadership needs to think carefully about where to direct investment and maximise economic and social impact. I think secondly is housing. The next government needs to create a meaningful policy to address the housing crisis, which came top in a recent AY Urban Futures poll in Manchester. While housing delivery is holding up across Manchester and is bolstered by new permissions, this is huge priority for the need government policy and funding to unlock the system and maintain delivery levels and a broader range of housing that meets the overall needs of our diverse and growing population. I think thirdly, I'd point to connectivity. We need to see actions rather than words on connectivity. The next 5 years needs to see meaningful movement forwards in connecting the North and delivering transport infrastructure to underpin economic growth. The fourth point is net zero carbon. By 2030, many will need to be delivering on stated net zero commitments. Manchester remains focused on being net zero carbon by 2038, but it is clear from a UK-wide perspective that we're a long way behind. Recent Labour U-turns on funding green initiatives is not helpful. We're going to need to be really thoughtful and challenging about how we maintain and hopefully increase the momentum on our net zero carbon journey in a world where capital may still be scarce for some time to come. And the final point for me is stability. For local authorities, we need stability in terms of policy, funding and commitment. A good old-fashioned period of thoughtful funding strategy that not only builds back public services but augments economic strategy that has been difficult to deliver during the chaos over the past few years. I think confidence is strong in Manchester with strong 5-year growth across all key sectors, all of which continue to feed from more high-cost locations seeking to benefit from our lower cost base and talent pool. But the standout areas are clearly knowledge industries, including tech, digital and scientific R&D. The property market is moving fast to adapt to their needs, as shown by trends towards lab space, as well as offices adapting to hybrid working and becoming more sort of collaborative in terms of working zones and offering staff lots of choice in terms of how they work. There's a number of opportunities, therefore, that present themselves to investors to feed these industries. These range from buying older office stock to raise the EPC standard to the required level B by 2030, but also the e-commerce revolution has further to run, which will create opportunities for last mile logistics. And Manchester's strong future growth prospects will create further demand for build-to-rent co-living residential markets, which we're seeing translate to strong activity, particularly across our city regions. Since 2014, Manchester has seen nearly an 80% increase in employment within the creative and digital sector. And this trajectory is likely to continue, certainly in the long term, retaining and enhancing existing occupier footprints, but also attracting new occupiers to the city and our regions. Data from the AY Urban Futures report in 2023 shows that Manchester's creative and digital sector is predicted to grow by nearly 12% over the next 5 years, leading to the requirement for appropriate workspace. Now, there's still a focus on occupiers wanting smaller but higher quality, sort of flight to quality space, but also more environmentally and socially conscious space with an emphasis on collaboration and choice of working environments and quality amenities. Manchester has seen strong levels of housing since 2018, certainly ahead of delivery targets set out within the government's annual delivery test. However, while headline delivery figures are positive, Manchester needs to continue to deliver at pace to retain its key aspect of its appeal, affordability, compared with London, and accommodate its growing population. Manchester's been pursuing regeneration and brownfield opportunities as a priority mechanism for delivering new homes, both in the city centre and wider local authority. In Manchester City Council's housing strategy, 80% of planned new homes to be built by 2032 will be on brownfield sites close to public transport connectivity. Two developments really stand out for me. Firstly, Strangeways. This has great significance in terms of building a connected and sustainable community, delivering both for Manchester and Salford in driving forward regeneration of a previously overlooked fringe area. Public-private partnership has been and will continue to be critical in bringing forward developments, with collaboration across 2 local authorities and multiple private sector partners all being essential for the creation and delivery of this master plan. And Avison Young, we're proud to be playing a part in this development. And secondly, Victoria North. This is the centrepiece of the future housing delivery in the city, and it's the largest regeneration-led programme in the country. It has scope to deliver 15,000 new homes on the northern edge of our city centre, and 4,800 homes have recently secured planning permission at Redbank, which is a new neighbourhood in Victoria North. Again, we're delighted to be playing part of this by securing planning consent for that scheme.